Okay, so what we're going to do today is to continue, our discussion last time, which is your login together with your main form. Actually, in our lens, I already shown you the activity, which is designing your main form, and I know that I already discussed that. No, how are you going to design your main form? So, parang ganito, no? Andun yung last discussion natin, andun yung how you are going to include or insert for a menu strip, or this one with different buttons or drop down menus. Okay, so as we agreed before, what we're going to discuss today is how are we going to set up. I know that some of you already have done with my challenge before, and that is a login with, of course, with the 3 attempts. So just after the 3 attempts, automatically the system will shut down, or it will automatically exit, no? And then if you can do also like blocking the account of the user na nagamit, okay, well and good. Now, so this morning, I just want to discuss how are we going to set up na. Set up, ibig sabihin, how are we going to populate our database, our table. So, showing you our table. Anyway, ang ginagamit ko na ngayon is SQL Server 2008. No? Pero, we can still log in using the SQL 2005 Express Edition. Bali, dalawa kasi yung naka-install sa akin na. The 2005 and of course, the 2008 R2. So, yung mga gumagamit ng R2 na yung pwedeng i-network, so ang gawin nyo lang dito is just remove the SQL Express actually. No? Pwede lang to. Kahit yung pangalan lang ng ano, di ba? Ito yung ginagamit nyo during your last subject. Then of course, the password that you have entered, that you have configured during your installation. Di ba? I-connect lang natin siya. So, ito yung R2. Ito yung SQL Server 2008 R2. The directory of this, where you are going to locate your database, the database you created is under the program files of your drive C. Then after that, dito sa Microsoft SQL Server and this one, MS SQL Server. Okay. So all databases you are going to create under Microsoft SQL Server 2008 R2 will be here. Data. So ito siya. I have already one database created. Okay, pero kapag ang ginamit nyo naman is 2005 Express Edition, yun yung unang ginamit natin. Napakita ko na to before. So dito siya. Okay, data, then here. Okay, but of course you can migrate, guys. You can migrate your database from 2005 into 2008. Okay, but you cannot migrate your 2008 to 2005. So lower version could be migrated to higher version, but higher version could not be downgrade to lower version. Okay? So gusto ko lang ipakita kung paano ba yung pagkakaiba. Paano ba yung pagkakaiba ng ano natin, ng connection string natin. So, last time, ang ginamit natin is this one. Integrated security is equal to true because what we use is our Express Edition 2005. What if you will be using your 2008? But still, itong 2008 guys na ano na R2, it will still depend on how you configure during your installation. I just hope that was been discussed before, no? Kasi meron tayong dalawang authentication eh. The first one is Windows authentication and the other one is mixed mode. Mixed mode ibig sabihin may security siya. Nilalagay natin. Okay? So, I just want to migrate, no? Ma-migrate ko lang. Then, pakita ko sa inyo before we proceed sa setup. Okay? How do we migrate from 2005 to 2008? Okay? So, I will be copying, of course, our database before. I think that is IT311. Okay? Kopyahin ko lang to. Then, i-transfer ko siya sa 2008, no? Okay? Paste ko lang dito sa my desktop. Okay? So, gamit siya kasi puntahan natin yung services. So, we will stop the service of SQL Server Express. Ito guys, yung service ng ng 2008 magkaiba sila. Okay? So, i-stop lang natin to for the meantime. Okay? To copy. Okay? So, ayun pa rin. Sige lang. Yeah. Then, start ulit natin. Then, after copying or after duplicating your database to other location, you can just actually put that. Okay? So, kopyahin natin to. Then, puntahan natin yung location, yung directory naman ng 2008. So, program files, SQL Server, then data, then paste lang natin dito. Okay. So, at ito yung location na nung natin. Then after that, ang gawin natin para ma-attach natin yung database na yan coming from 2005 is dito. 'Di ba ang inopen ko is 2008. Iba kasi kapag kapag 2005 yung natin. So database engine, pwede lang naman na pagsabayin natin 'yan. Ito yung 2005. Naka-Windows authentication siya kasi walang security na nilagay. Okay, connect ko lang. So, dalawa na yung server natin. A server, a database engine for 2008, R2 edition, then our SQL Server 2005 Express edition. Okay, so yan yung mga databases. Ito yung kinopya ko. Gusto kong i-migrate dito sa 2008. Okay, right-click ko lang, then attach. Then, add lang tayo. Then, locate natin. Ito yung pinaste natin kanina, di ba? Under program files, SQL Server, then data. Okay? Select ko lang ito. Then, click OK. Okay lang natin. Then, after that, we're going to click OK. So, sige lang. Okay lang natin yan. Yan. So, migrated na po siya. Ito na siya. Okay, ito na yung database natin. Nasa 2008 na. No? So, meron tayong 2005, merong 2008. Ngayon, how are we going to change now our string? At paano ba natin to papalitan? Kasi, we are trying to make an application already to be network. Okay, because using SQL Server 2008 R2 edition, you are trying to make an application that could be network. Pwede siyang LAN-based. Ibig sabihin, your database will be on the server, then your applications is trying to access only the database on your server. No? So, pwede siyang i-network. Say for example, you have 3 terminals, kagaya ng mga ginagamit nila sa mga groceries or big department stores, like meron silang isang server. Tapos, meron silang mga cashier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, that's what we call an application that is being networked. No? Isa yung database na ina-access nila, pero maraming terminals. So, yun po yung kagandahan ng mga higher version or development version or development edition of SQL Server. Pwede po siyang i-network. No? Yung gamit natin before na SQL Express, that's only for, sabi ko nga, it's only for educational purposes. Okay, now, how are we going to change? So, we will be using SQL 2008. No? Ang gawin lang natin is ito. Tatanggalin lang natin yung SQL Express na instance niya. Instance name, SQL Express, just remove it. Okay, that means you are trying to get whatever the name of your machine. Okay? That means you are trying to get. So, no need for you to get the exact name of your machine. So, that, okay, kahit saan mo ilagay na yan, yung that meaning siya na bahala kukuha dun sa pangalan ng server mo, ng local machine mo. Okay, initial catalog yan pa rin, pero ito yung magpapalit. Ito yung papalitan natin, yung security niya. So dito ilagay lang natin user ID is equal to SA. SA by default, nakita nyo kanina, di ba, nung kinonect ko siya. Kasi yun ang SA means system account. Okay, yun na yung ano natin, yun na yung local account natin. Okay, then after that, semicolon ulit, password naman tayo. Password, yun yung isinet nyo before nung kinonfigure nyo or in-install nyo yung ano. So, yan yung ginamit ko. Yan yung ginamit ko, SA1. Okay? So, let's try if we can still access the database here, yung migrate natin, okay, using our connection string. Okay, ito yung connection string para sa R2. Okay, para sa SQL Server Express, okay, just remove this, just change this to integrated security is equal to 2. Just change your server name having an instance name which is SQL Express. Okay, so let's try. Ilang naman na kahit wala yan. Lang natin. Okay, login. Okay, so anong ibig sabihin nito? Okay, nagko-connect na yung dalawa. Nagko-connect na yung database natin with our application. But of course, our database is already migrated in 2008. Diba tayo doon? Okay, para maniwala kayo na okay yan, I'm going to change my password. I-change ko to. Example, ang ilagay ko dito, Daniel. No? Pag i-run natin yan, of course, there would be an error. Okay? Ano ibig sabihin yan? Login failed for user SA. Ibig sabihin, yung account natin na SA, iba yung password niya. Iba yung password na sinet natin during the configuration or during the installation. Okay? Maganda rin sana kapag pinakita ko sa inyo kung paano ba configure initially yung 2008 R2 na database natin. Okay? So, balikan natin SA1. Run natin. Ibig sabihin, gumagana na yan. Kasi, na-access na rin natin yung laman ng table natin sa dito. Okay siya. Okay? So, that's it. How are we going to migrate from 2005 to 2008 version? Sige, papasokin natin yung mga nahuli. Okay? We are now going to start with our setup. As we agreed before that this would be our goal for this morning. So we are going to add, okay, add for a new form. Bale, ang form na to, we are going to make a setup on our users. Ibig sabihin, how are we going to add? How are we going to edit, delete if necessary? Then how are we going to add, edit, delete? Siyempre, kung mag-add tayo, there would be a save. Kung mag-edit tayo, meron ding save, no? So, how do we populate our table? Okay, dito, paano ba tayo magdadagdag, magde-delete, mag-edit ng record? Without opening this, syempre. Kasi dapat gamitin natin yung front end natin. Okay? The back end should always be secured. Secure dapat siya, hindi dapat yan na-access ng ninuman. Okay? So, ang makaka-access lang ng database natin is, of course, our database administrator. Okay? Siya lang dapat yung nakaka-access. Pero kapag end user lang tayo ng system, mismo yung system lang ang na-access natin. But how do we populate our database? By simply creating for an interface in our system to delete, to add, to update our records. Okay, so this will be named as FRM user account. Okay, FRM user account. Ibig sabihin, itong form na to ang gagamitin natin para mag-set up ng mga accounts. Okay, so change natin yung start position. It would be better kapag center screen siya palagi. Then of course our Minimize, maximize, tanggalin natin. And then icon. Okay, mag-set tayo ng icon. Sample lang naman yan. Then papalitan natin yung text ng form. Okay? User account setup. Anyway guys, our discussion is being recorded, no? Okay, recorded po ito for future references. Sandali lang, excuse lang. Abot na pero medyo mahina konti. Pero I'm planning na sana lagyan ng kondon para kasi yun yung request nila on Lourdes. Kasi kapag dyan, siyempre masyado ng maingay. Pag dito rin maingay din. Maglagay lang ng ma'am, router. Kahit sa loob na lang. Sa kasi ma'am, sa office nyo kasi, di ba, kubong siya. Kaya mahirap na So kapag doon naman sa kabilang room na kahit sa loob kasi open pa naman yung mga windows. So pwede lang sa labas. Kahit nasa loob yung router, abot pa rin sa labas kasi open pa naman yung kanila. Kasi mas secure kapag sa loob. Maganda. Anong maganda? Akala ko.
Maganda yun.
Oo, mama, dapat Sa ma'am? Central.
Graduating na rin mo. Pagka-classmate kasi kami. Ganda. Pinky. Germany. Diba? Sino pa ba? Nasa mga school siya?
Hindi ko pa alam.
you.
Sige ma'am, sige. Okay, so sorry again guys for inconvenience, no? May nagpatulong kasi sa pag-install. Okay? So, hopefully andyan pa kayo. Andyan pa kayo?
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes,
Andyan pa?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, good. Kala ko, umalis na. Sige. Pero, loss nyo rin kung umalis kayo kasi maganda yung discussion natin. This could help to develop or to, this is a part of your final output anyway. Okay, so user account, yan. Bali itong FRM user account created na siya, no? Ang gawin lang natin, i-connect lang natin siya dito sa my setup. 'Di ba meron tayong dito sa main form? Since our main form is the what we call this is the navigation part, no? I-connect natin ngayon yung form na to, okay, sa setup. So dadagdagan lang natin dito ng submenu. Okay. Ayan. User account. Type lang natin user account. So, if the user will click on the user account, ang magpapakita is itong form na to. So, lagyan natin ng code, yung menu na to. FRM, tawagin lang natin, FRM user account .show. Okay. If you want that the FRM account is a child of your main form, di ba? So, ang main form nyo is your parent form and your user account, FRM user account is your child form. Just include the parameter me in the function symbol of show. Ano ibig sabihin ng me? Okay, me is the parent form of this form. Okay, me means saan ba tayo nagko-code? 'Di ba sa main form? Okay, ibig sabihin, ang tinatawag nyo rito na me is the main form. Okay? So if you are calling the form where you are coding, you should call me. Okay? So kasi hindi naman pwede sabihin na tawagin mo din yung mismong pangalan niya. Say for example, ang tawagin natin is frm main. Okay? Magiging error 'yan because you cannot refer to itself. Okay? Kagaya nung kung nagsalita kayo, syempre, if you are referring to yourself, okay, ako, okay, me, 'di ba? So yun yung explanation niya. Hindi mo pwedeng tawagin yung sarili niya doon mismo sa ano, kung saan ka nagko-code. Okay? So let's try. Siguro pwede nating i-bypass ito, no? Para hindi every now and then hindi tayo mag-login. Okay? So to bypass that, puntahan lang natin yung my project, no? My project, double click nyo lang. Then puntahan nyo yung startup form. Just change that to main. Okay? So that every now and then, since alam mo naman na yung login is already running, okay? You can bypass that already. Ayan, main form na siya. Okay, click natin yung setup, then user account. Upon clicking user account, of course, the form that we have created earlier will be displayed already. Yun po yung code na show. Yung pagkakaiba ng me na mayroong me tsaka wala. Kapag click mo sa labas kasi, hindi matatakpan yung form natin na to. Okay, kung mag-click ka sa labas. Ayan, no. Pero pansinin niyo kapag tanggalin natin yung me doon sa code natin kanina. Okay? Kapag wala kasi yan, you are not setting your form na gusto mong ipakita as a child of your main form. Okay? Ibig sabihin, kapag pinakita mo siya, yan, nagpakita na siya. Pero kapag click mo sa labas ng form, wala na, matatakpan na siya. Okay? So, yun po yung pagkakaiba ng merong me as a parameter of show with yung wala. Okay? So, that is setting a child and a parent form. Yun yung paggamit natin na yan. Ayun, nagpapakita siya, pero natakpan kasi. So, better if you're going to set parameter me. Okay? Then, going back to our main form or going back to our setup form. So, ito, syempre, kailangan natin ng mga icons. So, I prepared for some icons on how we are going to design this. Okay? So, unang-una, ang ilagay natin dito is yung toolbox dito. Yung mga icons din, yung mga buttons din na add, edit, delete, mga ganun. But of course, the way you design, it's up to you already. Okay? Kung paano ba natin design yung form natin. Basta ipakita ko lang sa inyo on how you are going to design a form or your setup form. Okay? So, first thing to do, of course, you're going to have a tool strip. Ganun din, parang sa main form din. Okay? Tool strip, syempre, ano ba yung mga properties na pwede nating iset dito. Okay? Tanggalin natin yung grip style, yung dots dito. Changing the grip style property into hidden. Okay? And then, okay na ba tayo dun sa image scaling niya? 16 by 16. Kung masyadong maliit, change natin 32 by 32. You can change also the font of the whole tool strip. Okay? So change natin, lakihan natin ng konti, make it 12. Then maglagay na tayo ng mga buttons dito. Buttons dapat kasi add, edit, delete, yun lang naman. Okay? So you are going to make a button here. Okay? So yan siya. Image lang siya. Paano ba natin ipakita yung text? 'Di ba nasabi ko na before? Just change the display style of this button to image and text para magpakita yung dalawa, yung image niya at saka yung text niya. Okay? Change natin yung text into add. Then change natin yung layout. Yan. Add. Then maglagay tayo ng separator. Then next, button ulit. Let's have edit. Gusto natin mag-edit ng record, yun yung i-click natin dapat. Then next, change natin yung layout. Okay naman na yung layout. Image, then change natin display style, image and text. Mali yung layout. Ano ba dapat yung image above text? Okay. Then, still include natin yung delete para maranasan natin, experience natin kung paano ba tayo mag-delete ng record on our front end. Okay. So, image and text. Next. Yung text niya. Delete. Then, image above text. Okay. Then, separator. Tapos, maglagay tayo ng save tsaka cancel. Ibig sabihin ng save tsaka cancel, kapag nag-click ka ng add, you are going to fill up the form that the data needed to add a user, then siyempre mag-save tayo. Diba? So we are going to add more button, save, and cancel. Ito yung save. Tapos, then cancel. Separator followed by one more. We have cancel button. Ano yung gamit ng cancel button? Siyempre, kung magka-cancel ka, kung hindi mo ituloy yung gagawin mo na pag-add or pag-edit, okay, you can still cancel it. Image and text. Okay. So, yan yon. Let's try na ilagay yung mga to, yung alignment ng mga to. Alignment, i-separate natin, set natin na right. Okay. Interchange lang natin yung save tsaka cancel. Okay. So, yan. Then, siyempre, it's very important, sabi ko nga, it's very important to name properly the buttons or any other objects in your form needed during coding. Okay? So, you're going to change yung name property because name is very important when you are going to call these objects later when you are coding your program. So, we'll be naming this as CMD add. Okay? Next, CMD edit, CMD delete, CMD save, then of course CMD cancel. Very important syempre to have the appearance better. Puntahan natin yung image. Okay, then mag-set tayo ng mga images. Mag-import tayo ng mga images like add. Yan, prepared na siya. Then, oh, sorry. Ba't napunta sa cancel? Sa add pala. Okay, so you're going to set and add. Next, import, edit. Okay, then delete. Kaya akong na prepare na delete. Walang delete. Okay, yan na lang for the meantime. Then next, save. Then finally, we have cancel. Cancel or what we call i-redo natin. Magre-redo tayo. Yan na lang. Okay? Then, okay lang natin. So, we are done with the 4 buttons. Initially, guys, dapat yung dalawang to ay naka-disable sila. Okay? Initially, kapag pinakita natin yung form, dapat save and cancel will be disabled. Why? Kasi, syempre, upon showing the form, ano ba ang sisave mo? Wala pa naman, hindi ka pa naman nag-add, di ba? Hindi ka pa naman nag-edit, di ba? So, yung save and cancel should be disabled initially. So, iset natin yung properties ng dalawang to. Yung enabled is equal to false. Okay, yan. Saka lang to mag-enable kapag nag-click tayo ng add later o nag-click tayo ng edit. Get it? Okay, what's next? Ano pa yung laman nito dapat? Ang next na laman nito, ay maglalagay tayo ng dalawang group box. Dalawang group boxes. Okay, group box to group the other components or other objects. Okay, one group for maganda, yan na lang. One group box for the list view, for the list of all the active users in our table. Okay. Just name this group box as VB1. Okay, then syempre kailangan natin set yung ano niya, lakihan natin ng konti para ano siya. Syempre change natin yung text. Yung group box 1 doon, that is a text property. Okay? So list of users. Okay? Okay, under this group box, maglalagay tayo ng search box. Okay? Kasi dito natin i-search yung mga records kung gusto nating mag-edit. Siyempre, kung masyado yan, thousands of users. Gusto mong i-edit yung isang record, siyempre mag-search ka. Okay, that's the use of search box. Okay? So, this is how I design the search box. Gagamit ako ng feature box. Okay? Feature box lang 'yan. Then lalagyan ko lang siya ng image. Image for searching, lang ako. Hanap lang tayo Hanap lang tayo ng search box. Ano meron dito? Okay, search button. Parang ganyan lang siya. Okay, so masyadong maliit yun, yung one. So to solve that, puntahan lang natin yung size mode. Size mode is stress image lang natin. Okay? So yan. Para mag-fit yung size ng picture box doon sa picture. Then beside the picture box, ilagay natin yung search box natin dito. Okay? Yan. Then below this part, anyway, pangalanan natin to. This is txt search. Okay, txt search. And after that, below this part, lagyan natin ng list view. Guys, I will be using list view Siguro in your other subject hindi list view ang ginamit, no? I will be using list view to make it more formal na tingnan. Sa grid view kasi Okay. Other method of displaying a list from the database is grid view. Pwede rin siya. Pwede rin to, grid view. Okay? So, itong list view kasi madami tayong mga pwedeng rito, i-set na mga properties. Pangalan, syempre, LV list. Okay? Ang pangalan is LV list. Ang pangalan nito is txt search. Okay? You need that later. We will recall that later during coding. Okay? The next, ano pa yung other property nito aside from name? Next property na dapat i-set natin is full row select. Full row select, dapat naka-true yan. Ano po ibig sabihin ng full row select? If we will select later a record here, the whole row having 2 or more columns will be selected, highlighted as one. Yun po yung gamit ng full row select. Next, grid lines. Siyempre, kailangan natin. Grid lines yun yung may horizontal and vertical lines. Set din natin yan as true. Okay? Then finally, the fourth and last property na dapat iset natin is yung view property niya. Instead of large icon, we will set as details. Okay? So, if you notice, meron na kayo nakikitang hindi kasi masyadong visible. Meron ng lines dyan. Okay, yun po yung details natin. So, bali 4 yung dapat iset natin na property. Pangalan, very important. Next is yung full row select, naka-true. Grid lines, naka-true. Then lastly, yung view, dapat naka-details. Now, how are we going to add columns? Kasi, if you look into our table, di ba, may mga columns siya. columns for username, password, last name, support, and so on. Okay? But syempre, kapag users ang display natin dito, never display the password. Okay? So, ano dapat yung i-add natin? Syempre, yung primary key, yung username, tapos yung meron bang full name to? Wala. Walang full name, no? Sa column natin walang full name. Sa table natin walang full name. Dadagdagan natin ng full name. Okay? Dadagdagan natin. Ito yung sinasabi natin na pag-edit natin pag-alter natin ng table. Okay? So we will add full name. Okay. So dito, ang display natin dito na record o na data from the table is the user ID, pero naka-hide lang siya. I will show you later on how to hide a column on the list view. Then followed by username, syempre, and then of course the full name. So bali tatlo. 3 columns will be added. 3 columns from the table will be displayed on our list view. How? Right click lang natin, guys. Right click the table, the list view, then edit columns lang tayo. Right click, then edit columns. Okay? So dito, mag-add lang tayo. Add 1 column. First column. Yan, column header 1. Okay? So this will be our user ID already, primary key. Bakit ba kasi natin kailangan na i-display yung primary key sa column, sa list view? For us later to select unique record if we are going to edit or delete a record. Kasi di ba sabi natin user ID is our primary key, and we know that if that is a primary key, it's always unique to every record in our table. Okay? So kung mag-edit tayo, di ba, dapat unique yung record na i-edit natin. Kasi isa lang naman yung i-edit natin. Okay? Then how to hide? Because this user ID ay hindi na importante na makita pa ng end users natin. Okay? We as a programmer knows that there is a hidden column. Okay? But for the part of the end users natin, okay, they don't mind already. Okay? Kasi hindi naman nila kailangan yung user ID na yan. Ang kailangan lang nilang makita ay yung username and then yung full name. Okay? Pero bakit ba natin ito idadagdag sa list view natin? Para magamit natin later if you're going to edit or delete a record. Okay? Then how to hide? Set lang natin yung width niya to 0. Ayan. You cannot see already. Pero, in reality, there is. No? Naka-hide nga lang siya. Okay? Then mag-add pa tayo, another one. So that's our username. Okay, set lang natin. Siguro okay na yung 150 na width niya. Later the username. Then finally, we will add last column, which is the full name of the owner. Sino man yung owner ng user account na yan. Dagdagan natin yung username. Set natin 200. Then, set natin siguro to ng 280. Okay. Yan. So, fitted na siya. Tatlong column I should say. Okay. Column for user ID, username, full name. Okay. Then, next, sa baba naman, dito po natin ilalagay yung group box. Yung group box para tayo ay makapag-type. Diba? Kung mag-add tayo, siyempre, dapat makapag-type ka ng username mo, yung password mo. You can confirm your password, your last name, first name, and middle name. Yung full name later will depend on the last name, first name, and middle name. Okay, we will not be typing anymore here. So whatever the content of your last name, first name, and middle name, that will just be concatenated and display it on the full name. Okay? So ano yung mga kailangan natin na mga text boxes? Okay. So before we put the text boxes, maglagay tayo muna ng group box. Group box to group all our objects. Okay. Just name this as GB2. Group box 2. Then syempre change natin yung size to make it bigger. Ayan. So we'll be having this as user account information. Okay. Save natin. Then, ano mga kailangan natin dito? Unang-una, syempre kailangan natin ng label. Label para sa username. Okay, enter your username, parang ganun. Then another, of course, we need text box. Text box for the username. Okay, then after that, copy-paste lang tayo para mabilis. Yan. So, ito naman yung password. Next, we need to confirm. Confirm natin yung password. Baka kasi mali yung type natin dito doon sa gusto natin. So we need a confirmation first. The next, siyempre we need of course the last name. Last name, who owns this user account. Next, we have full name. First name pala. Nakasunod ba kayo?
Yes, sir.
So, nakasunod? Sige. Manood lang kayo ha. Just ask if you have some questions. Okay? Hindi ko kasi kayo nakikita eh. Yung monitor lang nakikita ko. Then of course, we have the middle name. Ayan. Then finally, sige, iset na lang natin to na ganyan. Then sa baba, lagyan natin ng text box para sa full name. Okay. Full name. Okay. Then, of course, again, as I've said, don't forget to name properly, no? To name properly all your objects used for coding, no? Yung mga label na to, no need for us to rename them. Why? Kasi hindi naman natin kailangan na kailangan yung mga to sa coding. We just use these labels to label the objects. Itong mga text boxes talaga kailangan natin para hindi tayo malito later when we try to recognize those text boxes. So this is txt user. Next, we have txt pass. Okay. Please take note para magamit natin later. Txt lname. Txt confirm. Txt confirm. Baka guys, baka magtaka kayo. Yung txt confirm wala dito sa table Wala sa table. Okay, password lang ang meron. Pero bakit natin dinagdag dito? Sabi ko nga, for us to have a confirmation if really that the password we type here is correct. Kasi there are times na yung iniisip mong password, hindi pala yun yung type mo. Kaya kung minsan, yun yung rason kung bakit hindi natin ma-access yung mga account natin. txtl name, we have txtf name, then we have txtm name, and then of course finally we have txt full. Sige, full name na lang. Ayan. Okay, then of course don't forget yung password tsaka confirm natin. Dapat hindi yan nakikita kapag nagka-type tayo. Use system password char property. I-true lang natin to para kung magka-type tayo dito later, dapat hindi makikita. But if you wish, okay, if you wish na lagyan ng checkbox to show password, okay, pwede rin. Lagyan lang natin ng checkbox. Okay. Checkbox to show password. Kahit wala ng yun na lang. Pero kung gusto niyo na ilagay talaga yung text, okay. Yan. Okay. I think we are ready for coding, no? Yan. So add, edit, delete. These two are disabled initially. Pati rin dapat ito eh. Dapat disabled pa yung mga to. Saka lang ito mag-enable dapat kung nag-add tayo ng delete or add or edit. Okay? So initially dapat yung group box 2 natin. Okay? Ano ba gagawin mo diyan? Hindi ka pa naman nag-add, hindi ka pa naman nag-edit, 'di ba? Hindi mo pa naman pwedeng i-save. Okay? So initially this should be disabled. Okay? So the group box 2 should also be disabled initially. Puntahan lang natin i-click lang natin yung group box 2 para lahat ng laman niya ma-disable na rin. Yun yung kagandahan kapag group natin yung mga yung mga objects natin. Ayan, disabled na siya. Let's try. Okay. So ayan. Saka lang yan dapat mag-enable kung nag-click tayo ng add. And that will be coded, of course. That will be the part of our coding. Okay, edit. Ayan. Okay. So, are you ready to start our code? Please say yes. Paki-type yung yes sa chat box natin. Yung mga ready sa coding. Okay, thank you Genesis. Thank you Justin. Okay, who else? Chris Leonard, Jenny Ross, John Anthony, Gilbert. Okay, thank you for actively participating. Yan, si Marvin, si Denimar, sino yan? Si Sading Bautista. Ayan, Micaela, Christian J, thank you very much for immediate response. Okay. So I think you are ready. You're ready to have our code. Ano ba gusto nyong unang i-code natin? Dito muna. Diyan muna yung pag-load natin. Okay? So loading record from the table into this list view. Then dapat makapag-search tayo. Yan siguro una natin gawin bago natin puntahan or lagyan ng code yung mga buttons natin, because these buttons will trigger if ever we want to add, if ever we want to edit, delete, or save those records, no? Upon loading dapat, upon showing the form, automatically dapat yung existing users natin nasa nasa list view na. Then if you want to search, mag-type ka dito, dapat nag-search din sa my list view. Okay? So let's have a code for loading content of list view coming from your table. So ano man yung laman ng table mo dito, yun din dapat. So, 'di ba, ang naka-display lang doon is user ID, username kaka full name. Walang full name diyan, hindi pa na-update. So let's have, ayan, i-update lang natin yung mga full name nila. Full name is, we have user yan, concatenated lang naman. Daniel J. Padilla and Aidan P. Ursulo. Okay. So, ang madi-display doon sa list view natin, guys, is the user ID, which is hide or hidden, username, and full name of the table. Okay. So, how are we going to do it? Ang gawin lang natin, guys, is we are going to make, okay, ito yung code window natin ng ng user account. Okay? So, ito siya. Load event of the main form, meaning upon showing the form, whatever code you have here will be executed. So, first thing to do is gagawa tayo ng subroutine or parang function. The work of this function is to display record on the table. This could be usable, guys. Pwedeng usable to. Okay? To shorten our code later. Sub load users. Yan siya. No? Private function lang siya. Hindi siya usable sa other forms. Okay, dito lang siya pwedeng gamitin sa loob ng form na to. Load users. First thing you do is to clear whatever the content of our list view. Diba ang pangalan ng list view is lvlist? lvlist.items.clear. I-clear lang natin. Kung may dating laman, i-clear lang natin. Okay, then after that, while rd.read. Okay, so ano ba yung gamit ni rd ulit? rd is our data reader, di ba? Ginagamit natin siya whenever we want to select, we want to retrieve the record in our table. Okay, so habang meron daw nababasa si rd coming from our query, our select query, kasi dito natin i-query eh. Okay, sa load event natin i-query yung pag-access natin sa lahat ng laman ng table. Okay, so how to do that? SSQL is equal to select asterisk from TBL. Ano ba yung tinawag natin? Yeah, TBL users. Select asterisk from TBL users. If you want to sort it, just include order by. Order by, if you want to sort the username in ascending order, just do it like that. Okay, ano ibig sabihin nito? Select asterisk means you are considering all the columns from the table. Dapat ma-retrieve lahat sila. Even though in our case, tatlo lang yung kailangan natin. Pero okay lang na asterisk. Okay? Alangan naman na papahabain mo pa yung code. Nagmamadali ka na. Okay? Asterisk is the shortest, the easiest way to select all columns in your table. Okay? Select asterisk from TBL users order by username. Okay? Without any key here or any keyword here, the default arrangement is ascending order. Ano ibig sabihin niyan? I-sort natin yung mga records sa table na TBL users, sorting its username in ascending order. I-execute natin to, di ba sabi natin palaging palaging nagpa-partner yung SSQL and exec SQL based doon sa natin. Based doon sa module natin. Diba? Meron tayong module dito. Okay? Exec SQL, ano yung parameter? Unang parameter, I want you to participate, guys. Ano yung unang parameter ng exec SQL? Yun yung query na i-execute natin. Saan ba natin in-store yung select asterisk? Doon kay SSQL, di ba? So that should be called. And ano yung second parameter? That's either true or false. Kailan magiging true, kailan magiging false? Anybody? True or false?
False, sir.
False. Okay, bakit false?
Kasi select.
Yun na yun, bakit false?
Kasi
Sa Genesis,
select.
bakit false?
Kasi select po, sir. Yung
Okay,
ano.
so yun lang yung sagot. Kasi yung query natin ay select. Okay? So yun yung reason. Why? Bakit false ito? Kasi select tayo eh. Kasi yun yung sinet natin sa module natin na kapag false, okay, we will be using RD. Para magamit natin si RD, okay, doon sa RD as our reader. Okay? So, dito, kaya nga meron na tayo dito, while RD. Okay? False. Tama yan. Ngayon, tawagin mo na lang si load users. Instead of coding the lines here sa load users, okay, tawagin mo na lang to para ma-execute yung subroutine na to. Okay? Yung subroutine na to, nandun na si RD. Diba? Kasi nga, false, magagamit natin si RD kasi false yung second parameter natin dito. And RD is our data reader. And data reader will only function if you are selecting record from your table. Okay? So, while rd.read, then maglagay na tayo ng mga records sa list view. With lvlist.items.add, mag-add tayo. Okay? Ano yung i-add natin sa unang column? Ano yung unang column sa list view, guys? Ano yung sinet natin na unang column sa list view?
Username.
Is it username?
User ID, sir.
Okay, user ID, di ba? User ID. Ngayon, pang ilang column yung user ID sa table?
0.
Okay, meron bang 0 column? Unang column, di ba? Unang column yan. Pero, tama yung sagot mo, you are referring to the index. Okay? Because indexing a table in SQL Server always starts with 0. It is just an array. Okay? The table in our database are just like an array. That when you index it, kung kukunin mo yung index niya, start ka palagi sa 0. Therefore, that should be RD index 0. Kasi, after executing this select statement, guys, hawak-hawak na ni RD yung mga record, yung mga data. Okay? Now, if you want to retrieve those data and you want to display it, always call RD, then it's index. Okay? So, RD index 0. Or you can replace this. Kung ayaw mo naman kung ayaw mo na numbering or numeric index ang tawagin mo dito, okay lang din yung column mismo, yung column name. Okay? User ID, and then of course, ayan. So yan. We have added already the first column in our list view. Ano yung second column ngayon? After user ID.
Username, sir.
Username. So how do we add that? How do we add that? That column in our list view. Okay. Since gumamit na tayo ng with, guys, with is a grouping statement na hindi mo na kailangan na paulit-ulit na tawagin yung LV list. Okay. LV list, that items, LV list. Sa paano kapag ano yan? Paano kapag 10 lines yan? Okay. But with using with in Visual Basic, all other properties of LV list can be accessed using that. Mag-dot ka na lang. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo na kailangan na paulit-ulit na tawagin yung list view na to. That sub-items is the other column of the list view already. This is now the first column. And then if you want to call this second column, okay, yun yung unang sub-items natin. That sub-items that add, okay, sabi nyo username, di ba? RD index username. Para hindi tayo malito. But this could be replaced to what? Ano yung pwedeng i-replace natin dito kapag number, kapag numeric? Pang ilang column ba yung username natin sa table? Pangalawa. So anong index niya?
1, sir.
You could replace that username to 1. Get it? Pwede mong i-replace yan sa 1. Kuha. Okay. So, ito yung unang column ng list view. Ito yung pangalawa. Meron pa bang other column sa list view? Ilang columns ba kanina? 3, di ba? 3. Ngayon, mag-add pa tayo ng isa pang sub-items. Yan yung pangatlong columns na. Sub-items that add RD index full name. Okay? Kasi full name yung natin, pangatlong column natin eh. Ito yung merong unang column dito, user ID. Yan na po yon. Meron tayong pangalawang column, username. Ito na po yon. 1. Bakit 1? Kasi second column siya ng table. Okay? Pangatlong column natin ito, full name. Diba? Yan siya, full name. But you can change that full name. You can change that full name index, descriptive index as pang ilang column ba? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can change that to 6. This full name could be changed that to 6. Pero kapag guys, kapag numeric index kayo, wag nyo nang lagyan ng double quote ha. Saka nyo lang lagyan ng double quote kapag descriptive index tayo. Okay? So I think that's okay. Let's try to check if it's working. Yan. So meron ng laman. Okay? So kung ano man yung laman ng table natin, yan na rin yung na-load dito sa list view natin. Yung kanina na property, ito yung sinasabi ko, kung mag-click kayo, whole columns will be selected. Will be full row select. Yan yung one. Okay, the next code is search. Paano ba yung searching natin? So habang nagka-type ka dito, dapat kung masyadong marami yan, siyempre, makikita mo habang parami yung type mo dito, palit ng palit yung mga records natin sa list view. Okay? So, let's code searching. Loading, okay na tayo. Yung pag-load natin, ito lang yung code naman natin sa load event ng form with, of course, a subroutine na tinawag natin dito. The subroutine, the function of this is to display whatever record of our table basing from our select statement. Ang function naman ni RD is nagdedepende siya sa result ng select statement natin. Okay? So kung dadagdagan mo to, for example, select asterisk from TBL users were, kung naglagay ka ng condition mo dito, were, then your condition, yun dapat ang lalabas lang sa table or sa list view. But since ang goal naman natin ay ipakita lahat ng existing record natin sa table, wala ng condition. Okay? So let's proceed with the search. Search box. Okay, so we will be coding text change, no? We will be coding text change event of our TXT search. Kasi kung nag-search naman tayo kasi nagta-type tayo, di ba? So every time na mag-change yung laman ng text box, i-execute natin yung pag-search natin. So text change event will be coded. Okay? So mag-if lang tayo. If TXT search .text is equal to empty. Okay, ito lang naman yung condition natin. Kung walang laman si TXT search, guys, are we searching for something or not? Kung empty siya, kung empty ito, naghahanap ba tayo ng record? Ha? Not. Not. Hindi, di ba? Ibig sabihin, lahat ng record dapat ma-display. Therefore, simple lang naman, ito lang naman yung i-code natin, no? Kopyahin nyo lang to. Just copy the code in your load event. Just copy this and put it here. Kasi parehas lang naman eh. Kung walang laman si TXT search, dapat lahat ng record ay display natin sa list view. Pero kung may laman, yun na, maghahanap na tayo. Hahanapin na natin yung simula ng every record. Okay? So, ang gawin lang natin dito, make a query statement. Okay? Mag-select din tayo. Select asterisk from TBL users were. Yan na, may condition na kasi maghahanap pa tayo eh. Were, ano ba yung gusto nyong search key? Ano ba yung gusto nyong searching criteria? Okay? Ano ba yung gusto nyong searching criteria? Kapag username ang gusto nyong searching criteria, yung searching key, okay, yun dapat ang gamitin nyo rito. Okay? For username like, we'll be using like operator. Because like operator is used to search a certain value considering it as a string value. Okay? String value siya, not numeric value. So select asterisk from TBL users or username like. Okay? Like, ano ba yung tinype natin doon sa text box? I-extract natin. Huwag nyo kakalimutan to, napaka-importante yung extraction point natin. Single quote, double quote, single quote, double quote, then ampersand. Sa loob ng ampersand, andun dapat yung text box na pagkukuhanan natin ng string. Diba? Siyempre, nag-type ako, for example, dito nag-type ako ng D. Meron bang username na nag-start ng letter D? Kung meron, yun ang dapat lalabas dito sa list view. Okay? Okay? So, yan siya. Then, wag niyong kakalimutan yung wildcard character na ilagay natin dito. So that every character when you search, dapat ina-execute din niya yung query natin. And that is %sign, guys. Okay? Dito lang sa in between single double quote, single quote sa hulihan nito. 'Di ba? Ito yung single quote, double quote. Double quote, single quote in between that characters. Ilagay mo lang yung wildcard character na %sign so that every entry in your text box ay i-execute niya. Okay? Hahanapin niya sa table kung meron ba. Kasi niyo mamaya. Execute natin 'to. Check SQL, then false. Then after that, load users tayo. Let's try. Okay, try natin kung gagana yung code natin. Okay, I will search for example E. Okay, E. Ano napansin nyo? Yung record sa table natin under username na nag-start ng letter E, yun lang yung nakita nyo. Paano kapag dagdagan ko ng ed? Wala nang nakita. Bakit? Kasi wala nang record sa table natin na nag-start ng letter ng ED under the username. Kung tatanggalin ko to, babalik. Kung wala nang laman, babalik lahat. Okay? Yun po yung gamit ng searching natin. Try natin tanggalin yung wildcard character na yun. Try natin tanggalin to. What will happen? Saka lang niya ilalabas yung record kung kompleto na yung tinype natin. Ayan wala. Okay? Okay, done. Yan. Saka lang siya lalabas kapag meron ng exact na string doon sa table natin, not per character. Okay? So, yun po yung gamit ng wildcard character natin na %sign dito. Okay? Balik natin. Ano ba tayo sa searching? I hope you get this. No? Ito yung code natin for searching. In all your setup later, you can use that. How about if hindi lang username ang paghahanapan nyo? Okay, for example, you are not familiar with the username, but you are familiar with the full name. Okay? Paano natin siya idadagdag dito as another criteria in searching? Okay? So, ang gawin nyo lang guys, idadagdag nyo siya as another condition by means of using logical OR. Logical OR, para kung nag-false dito, nag-true doon sa kabila, true pa rin siya. Tama? Logical OR tayo eh. So, another condition, where full name like. Kaya lang dun sa una. Single quote, double quote, ampersand. Then, pangalan ng text box kung saan kayo nag-search. The text. And then, syempre, lagyan natin ng %sign. So, bali dalawa na yung searching criteria natin. Searching key. Okay, username and full name. Kung nag-false sa username, pasok siya sa full name. So, true pa rin siya. So, for example, letter E. Ayan. So, pasok siya dito. Pero kapag letter A, ayan, pasok siya sa username, hindi siya pasok sa full name, pero OR ang ginamit natin, kaya nag-display pa rin siya. Letter D, ayan. Letter D, hindi siya pasok sa username, pero pasok siya sa full name, kaya lumabas pa rin siya. That's the use of the logical OR. That's the use of the logical OR. Pwede pa nang dagdagan actually dito. You can add more criteria, why not? Okay, or last name, or first name, and so forth and so on. Any question guys sa search? May question ba dito? Any clarification? Kung napansin nyo kanina, bakit ba natin dinagdag yung condition na if the content of text search is empty, lalabas lahat. Okay? Siyempre, para ilabas natin din lahat yung laman ng table. Okay? Kung nag-type tayo dito, paano kapag gusto mo lahat ipakita? Diba tanggalin mo lang? Okay? Kasi mayroon tayong condition na if the content of text box is empty, okay, show all the records. That's the use of this code here. Okay na? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Sige. I hope so. Okay. Are you ready for the buttons? Are you ready for the add, edit, delete, save, and cancel buttons? Just type yes again in our chat box if you are ready, if you have no question on our previous. Yan, si Genesis ulit, mabilis Justin, pangalawa, John Lloyd, Gilbert, okay, Geneva, Jenimore, thank you, Chris, Jenny Ross, Laika, parang same people yung nagre-react. Parang umalis na yung mga iba. Okay, so thank you for reaction. Unahin natin. Ano yung gusto nyo unahin? Unahin natin yung add. Yung add, simple lang naman yung ano sa add. Simple lang naman yung code natin sa add. Okay? Sa add lang naman, i-enable lang natin to. I-enable natin yan. I-focus natin yung username, yun lang. Tapos, ano pa yung gagawin natin dito sa add? Kapag click yung add, yung dalawang button na to, mag-enable, yung tatlo mag-disable. May enable yung group box na to, then ma-focus yung cursor natin sa may ano na yan, sa may text box na yan. Okay? So yun lang. So let's have a code for add. Guys, para hindi pa ulit-ulit na ano na go-code natin yung enable disable na yan. Gagawa tayo ng subroutine din. Subroutine to enable, disable, and so forth and so on, like this and like that dito. Okay, so lalagay tayo ng subroutine. Unahin natin yung save cancel. Then another subroutine, add, edit. Ayan. So kung mag-add tayo, kung mag-click natin yung add, mag-enable to, mag-disable yan. Kapag nag-click tayo ng save, babalik sa dati. Ma-disable to, ma-enable yan. So parang kabaliktaran lang nito gagawin. So dito sa save cancel, tawagin natin yung cmd add .enabled is equal to 2. Nakapag-save ka na, dapat babalik sa dating itsura, di ba? cmd edit .enabled is equal to true. And cmd delete .enabled is equal to true. Then yung dalawa, yung save cancel, cmd save .enabled is equal to false kasi babalik na sa dati. cmd cancel .enabled is equal to false. Okay? So yan yung save cancel. How about yung add edit? Baliktarin lang natin. Lahat ng true magiging false. Then lahat ng false magiging true. So, unang tawagin natin dito guys is add edit. Add edit function. Anong trabaho ng add edit function na yan? Para i-execute ito. Diba? Yung save cancel magiging enabled, yung tatlo mag-disable. Yan yung gamit ng add edit para bakit tayo naglagay ng subroutine na yan? Para hindi natin paulit-ulit na kinocode yung 5 lines na to. Okay? Kasi ito, pwede mong gamitin na sa add, sa edit button, sa save button, sa cancel button. Okay, the next, iset natin yung text ng ng form na to. Me.text equal to add new record. Why is this important, guys? Why is this important? Okay, kung nag-click ka ng add, make sure na ang text ng form is add new record so that later, if you will save, you know if you are just adding a record or you are just editing a record. Kasi isa lang yung form na ginagamit natin eh. Isa lang yung form na ginagamit natin. Kung nag-click ka ng edit, ang text dapat ng form na to is edit record. So that if you click save, later sa code natin ng save, ito lang yung condition natin. If me.text is equal to add new record, dapat parehas na parehas dito. In all aspects, pati yung mga character casing parehas na parehas. Para hindi kayo magkamali, you can just copy actually as is. Kahin nyo dapat yan. Save, i-paste nyo lang yan. Then mag-else ka na. Okay, so itong save kasi natin medyo mahabang code to, pero gusto ko lang i-emphasize kung bakit tayo naglagay ng text sa sa form if ever we click add or edit. Okay? Insert new record here. Okay? Dito sa else part, dahil hindi add new record yung text ng form, is either that is update record, dito natin lalagay yung code natin to update existing. Okay? Guys, that's just a comment ha. Comment lang yan sa sa Visual Basic. Hindi yan i-execute. That's just a comment. Okay? Then, dadagdagan natin yung add. Ano pa yung gusto natin gawin? Kulang tayo sa save cancel. So, save cancel, GB1 will be enabled. Then GB2 will be also disabled. GB2.enabled is equal to save cancel eh. Kung nag-save ka na, babalik sa dating state ng mga objects natin. Tapos add edit naman, GB1 will be disabled also. Then GB2 will be enabled. So yan. The next, paano ba natin i-focus? How do we focus this text box? Kapag nag-add tayo, tawagin lang natin txt user dot focus. Try natin. Add. Okay, yun siya. Nakita nyo? Balikan natin. Add. Okay. Gusto mong mag-add eh. Siyempre, dapat mag-type ka dito. Ngayon, kung okay na siya, kung i-save mo na, okay, kung mag-save ka na, after saving, dapat babalik sa dating itsura. Ito, disabled. Ito, tatlo, enabled. Ito, disabled naman. Tapos at the same time, ma-clear din dapat. So, I'll show you later how do we clear these text boxes, okay, without calling them one by one. Paano kapag yung gagawin natin later is a setup for students with 50 data. Lahat ng mga data ng students like birthday, age, email address, course, religion, mga ganon, di ba? So masyadong madami 'yon. Di ba? Kung tigisahin mong tawagin yung mga objects para ma-clear lang sila, okay? That's very time consuming. So gagawa tayo ng loop statement na lahat ng mga objects dito, kapag text box yan, will be cleared, okay, regardless of how many text boxes are there in that group box. Okay? So cancel, save, wala pa naman tayong code. Kung kinancel natin, dapat babalik sa dating itsura. How do we code cancel? So sa cancel, okay, kung gusto niyo pagandahin, lagyan ng message box. Message box. Are you sure you want to cancel? Okay, that's a question mark. Therefore, that should be answered by yes or no. Question is our icon plus yes, no are the buttons to be displayed. Okay, is equal to, kapag yes ang pinili, then tawagin lang natin save cancel na function or subroutine. Okay, anong trabaho ng save cancel? Yan lang siya. Ito. Then dapat ma-clear. Yun pala yung gusto kong sabihin. Dapat ma-clear yung mga text boxes dito na tinype natin. Okay, how to do that? Gagawa tayo ng subroutine din. Another subroutine. Okay? Sub clear. Okay? So to do that, for each, gamit tayo ng for each obj in group box, in GB2.controls. Lahat daw ng objects doon sa group box 2, okay, ay i-clear natin. If obj, if type of obj is text box, then obj text equal to empty. And I hope this will work. Okay? So kung what if you have other objects here like combo box, like ano pa yung mga containers natin? If there are other objects here na gusto mong i-clear yung laman, dadagdagan mo lang ng else if dito. Else if type of object is combo box. Okay? Then i-clear mo din siya. obj.text is equal to empty. Ganyan.
Sir, di kayo nga rin radio button kada checkbox.
You cannot clear radio button. You cannot So andun pa rin siya. Yung yung radio button, hindi text yung i-clear mo eh. Dapat mo lang siya. Uncheck mo lang siya. So bale, kung gusto mong i-uncheck naman lahat ng radio buttons and text boxes, mag-else if ka lang. Else if type of object is checkbox. Okay, then obj dot check is equal to false. Ganyan. Sige, matry natin ito mamaya sa checkbox natin dito. Mag-check tayo mamaya dyan. Dapat ma-uncheck lahat. Okay? So, napaka-simple code, di ba? For each, naka-loop lang siya. So, regardless of how many objects in your form or in your container, in our case, guys, ang container natin is group box 2, ha? So, dito lang maapektuhan. Hindi maapektuhan yung other containers. Okay? Kasi dyan lang tayo nag-concentrate. So, yung save cancel natin, dagdagan lang natin to ng clear function. Okay? So, try natin. Mag-add tayo. Mag-type ako dyan. Sample lang naman. Check ko yan. Cancel. Yes. Yun siya. Na-clear. Diba? Yun yung gamit ng clear function natin or subroutine natin. Na-uncheck yung mga checkboxes and so forth and so on. Okay? So, that's the use of our looping statement to clear contents of our text boxes and other objects, okay, in our container. Instead of calling, kasi ang pinakamabilis na gawin diyan ganito eh. Instead of using this one, tawagin mo lahat. Napakahirap. txt user .text is equal to empty, or txt full name fname .clear, ganun. So, sabi ko nga, what if you have around 20 containers or text boxes and others. Okay? So, isa-isahin mong tawagin. Pero kapag gamitan mo siya ng ganyan, napakabilis, di ba? Napakaliit na line napakaliit na subroutine, pero it caters all. Okay? So, ayan. Save, cancel. Okay na tayo. Ano pa? Itong show. Simple lang naman to. Ipakita mo lang yung i-false mo lang yung nagawa na natin yan sa noon. Sa login, meron ba? Wala. So, pwede nyo gawin ito sa login tsaka dito. Kapag chinek mo yung show, okay, if checkbox 1 that check, kung naka-check daw equal to true, check lang natin yung txt password, txt pass that use system password chart is equal to false. Yan lang. Okay? Try natin. Mag-add tayo. Mag-type ako dito. So, yun. Walang toggle. Dapat mag-toggle siya. So, mag-else if lang tayo doon. Kung hindi daw naka-check, else, balik natin sa dati. I-true lang natin siya. Okay? Next. You want some more? Wala pa tayo. Cancel, okay na tayo. Save, ito yung ihuli natin kasi maraming code dito. Ang code niyan is either you are adding or editing. Yung delete, ready na to. Ready na tayo mag-delete ng record. Kasi in deleting, we don't need save. Automatic na kapag nag-click ka ng delete, matanggal na yung record sa table natin. So how do we delete? Delete button. Okay? As usual, maglagay tayo ng message box. Are you sure? Yan lang. Then, syempre, question plus yes, no. Okay. Close. Ano yung result? Okay. If message box, are you sure? Ito yung question natin. Tapos, yes ang pinili ni user. Syempre, mag-delete tayo, di ba? That is, gawa tayo ng query. Anybody from the group wants to formulate a query how to delete the record? Paano ba yung natin, yung query natin para mag-delete ng record sa table? Anybody? Wala. Nawantansan. Delete from TBL users. Kung ganyan, ma-delete lahat. Okay? Pero dapat lagyan natin ng tawag dito, where condition. Where what is the primary key in our table? Ano yung column na primary key? Are you still there? Nabanog kayo sa mga agudang agad? Yes, Giovanni Lee, you're raising your hand, anak. Any clarification? Giovanni Lee, you're raising your hand. Ayun. Nagkamali lang daw. Yun na. Nag-raise hand si Giovanni Lee. Giovanni Lee? Wala. Sino yung nagano kanina? Wants to comment? Meron ba? Okay, tapusin na lang natin to, no? Next meeting na lang natin yung edit tsaka yung save. Okay, next meeting natin yung edit tsaka save. So, what are we going to do here is we're going to delete for using our primary key. For user ID is equal to, okay? So, saan ba natin din-display yung user ID sa list view? Di ba yung user ID nasa first column siya? Nasa first column ng list view. Therefore, to access that, to get that, ang gawin lang natin, LV list that selected items, okay, index 0, at sub items 0, that text. Yan po yun. Okay. So, that user ID is coming from the list view. Ano man yung na-select, di ba? And then, sa unang column siya. Unang column, sub-item 0 yan. Okay. Then, execute natin. Exec as SQL, then true. Bakit true? Bakit true? Because
hindi na select.
okay, our statement is not select. True yan kapag ang statements natin are delete, update, insert. Okay ba tayo doon? Okay, then after that, kapag deleted na siya, kapag deleted yan, ang gawin lang natin ay i-refresh natin yung list view, i-refresh natin, i-requery natin, i-reselect natin yung laman, ng table, tapos i-display ulit natin, and that is, ang code natin dyan ay yung code natin sa may load event ng form. Ito lang siya. This is to refresh the list view. So after deleting, di ba? Okay, na-delete na. Kung gusto mo na na tanggalin na doon sa list view yung dinelete mo, i-refresh mo lang. Okay? Meron din tayong gagawin dito. Paano kapag nag-click ka ng delete pero wala kang selected na record dito? Let's try. Okay, file. Okay? Mag-delete ka o mag-are sure na siya, di ba? Okay? Dapat alamin mo muna kung may selected o wala sa table o sa list view natin. To trap that, okay? Dadagdagan natin ng if statement. If LV list that selected items that count. Bilangin lang natin. Ilan ba ang selected sa list view? If LV list selected items that count is greater than 0 or greater than or equal to 0. Sa negative side tayo. Okay. Yan yung condition natin. Kung wala daw selected na record sa list view, dapat sabihin natin, magtalna ka, awanti sinelect mo nga record, tapos mo i-delete mo, parang ganun. Okay, no record was selected to delete. Diba? Siyempre, kung walang selected, anong di-delete mo? Tapos, kung minsan mag-error pa to kasi walang laman nito. Walang laman nito, ibig sabihin mag-error na siya. Kasi walang selected na record. So, there must have a trapping for that. No record was selected to delete, then make it critical. Okay, may warning na rin yan. Then, kapag merong selected, ito yung ilalagay natin sa loob ng else. Okay? So, let's try. Delete. Yan siya. Bakit may yan? Bakit ka kasi magde-delete na wala man lang selected record sa table? Diba? Ngayon, kung sinelect mo to, tapos dinelete mo, okay, tatanungin ka na, are you sure? Kapag ni-yes mo yan, tatanggalin na yan talaga. Deleted na yan pati sa table natin, deleted na yan. Because you already successfully executed that query delete. Okay? Paano nangyari yon? Gusto ko lang ipakita yung pagkuha natin sa value ng user ID na to sa my first column ng table. Okay? Or ng list view. Okay? Ito yung guys, ito yung ginagamit ko to simulate the execution of the program. Okay? Pakita ko lang sa inyo done. Ayan, delete. Yes. Ayan. So, mag-stop siya. Hindi niya i-execute agad-agad. Okay? So, ang laman nito, yan. Select asterisk from TBL. Yan pa rin yung niya pala. Kasi, ang unang query niya ay yung load pa lang kanina. I-execute natin yan. Ano ay yung laman ng SSQL? Delete from TBL users where user ID is equal to 4. Bakit 4 ito? Kasi yun yung laman nung code na yan. Okay, kasi 4 yung user ID nung sinelect natin na record. Kapag i-execute natin ngayon, ito, okay, automatically tatanggalin talaga niya. Okay, then after that, kapag natanggal, i-refresh nyo lang yung list view coding this. Anyway, aside from copying the code, pwede rin natin tawagin na isang line lang to. RM or me dot call natin. Call FRM user account load. Hindi yata yan. Meron dapat parameter. Pwede yata to. So aside from copying the code of this, but make sure na yung load event nyo rito ay ito lang talaga yung i-execute niya. Pero kung meron ka pang nilagay na ibang code yan later, hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yung isang line lang na yan. Okay? You need really to copy the code on how to refresh the content of your list view. Okay? This is to shorten. For as long as, sabi ko nga, yun lang yung laman ng code natin sa load event ng list view. Okay? So, that's how are we going to, yung nagawa natin. Load record from the table to this list view, searching, okay na tayo, yung add okay na rin, yung delete okay na rin, yung cancel okay na rin, so that our next meeting, okay, is edit and save. Okay, edit and save. Yung pag-edit natin, ganito lang siya. Yung pag-edit natin is you're going to select a record here. Pagka-click mo ng edit, dapat yung mga kung dito, save, cancel, tawagin natin, add, edit, tawagin natin yung subroutine na yon, tapos enable natin to. Then whatever data connected to this account or record will be displayed here. Ready for you to edit, di ba? Dapat i-display natin muna. Ready for you to edit. Okay? In that case, kapag magawa natin yon, save na lang yung trabahuin natin. Okay? Gawin na lang natin before we end. Yung edit para yung concentration natin next meeting is save na lang. Okay? Edit, simple lang naman to. Yung edit, pwede natin kopyahin yung kung walang selected, LV list that selected items.count is equal to 0. Kung walang selected, di ba? Anong i-edit mo kung wala? Yan lang yung condition natin. Kopyahin mo to. Then, change mo lang to. No record was selected to edit. Kung meron, gagawin mo na is to access the other data pertaining to the selected record. Query mo lang. Select asterisk from TBL users or user ID pa rin tayo kasi yun ang primary key. LB list selected items 0 that sub items 0 that text. Parang sa delete din kanina to. Then execute natin. SQL false. Bakit false? Kasi select yung query natin. If rd.read yun na. So always kapag select yung query mo, gagamitin mo palagi si rd para ma-retrieve mo yung mga records or yung mga data. If rd.read, then ano na yung gagawin natin? Okay, then unang-una mag-transfer na tayo ng mga data to be edited, to be displayed on those text boxes. Unahin natin txt user. Txt_user.text is equal to rd index. Pangilang column si username? Pangalawa, that's why 1. Txt password text is equal to rd index 2. Kung nalilito kayo sa mga numeric na yan, pwede rin naman type nyo na direkta yung column name. Okay? The next, password. Next, txt lname text is equal to rd index. Trabaho nga lang kapag numeric index tayo. Kapag descriptive index. Txt fname text is equal to rd index fname. Ano ba yun? Lname, first name, you see? First name, middle name. So, you need to type first name. The next, txt mname text is equal to rd index middle name. Then lastly, txt full name dot text is equal to rd index full name. Then yung password ilagay na natin din, yung confirm, txt confirm. Yan lang guys, yan lang yung edit natin. Walang edit daw, edit. Ayun, may kulang tayo. Ano yung kulang natin? Yung mga subroutines natin na dapat save, cancel, mag-enable, then mag-enable to. Yan. So, tawagin natin dito. Sa labas na lang ng ano natin. So, tawagin natin yung add edit. Edit. Kailangan. Tapos yung text pala ng form. It's text is equal to edit okay. So syempre wag natin kakalimutan na lagyan pala ng text box para sa user ID. Okay, importante to. Mag-alap tayo ng ano ng container para sa primary key natin. Gagamitin natin to later if we want to save already. Okay? Set lang natin visible. Okay, ganyan lang muna. Ipapakita ko lang. Very important na kapag maglagay tayo txt user id.text is equal to rd index 0. Yung primary key natin. Dapat may laman din to. May laman din dapat to. Anong gamit niyan later? Kung mag-save tayo, ito ang magiging value nung i-update natin na record for user ID is equal to the content. Okay, so try ulit natin i-run. Okay, edit. Ayun, so merong laman yan, no? I-hide na lang natin to. Okay, so may kulang pa pala. May kulang pa. Mag-add tayo. Habang nagka-type ka dapat dito, dapat automatic na nagka-type na rin dyan. Okay, actually, yung txt full name should be disabled. Dapat hindi na to malagyan ng laman. Or hindi na dapat to editable. Okay, ilalak na natin yan. Read only natin. Ayan. So that, whenever you type here sa txtl name, nagka-type na rin dapat sa full name. Txt full name.text is equal to, concatenate lang natin, mauna yung first name, di ba? Txt first name the text concatenate is plus, pwedeng ampersand. Okay, concatenate space add paano kunin yung first letter of the middle name, yung unang letter lang. Gamit tayo ng mid function. Mid txt middle name mname the text. Okay, then 0 starting point, then ilang characters ba? Isa lang, di ba? 1. Okay, concatenate period. Concatenate period after the middle initial period. Then after that, concatenate natin yung txt last name text. That's how you're going to put a value on the txt full name while you are typing characters on your last name, first name, and middle name. Kopyahin mo na lang to. Kopyahin na lang yan. Then, i-paste dun sa code ng first name. Paste din sa code ng full name. Okay? So, try natin. Kung magka-type ka dito, for example, sorry, may problema. Yung ano natin, yung starting point natin dapat 1. In other programming languages kasi 0 ang starting point eh. But in Visual Basic, starting point is 1. Okay. Add. Lagay ko dito. Yan. Kung papansin niyo, nagta-type na rin siya. That's it. No, hindi na to editable, hindi na to pwedeng palitan. Nag-base lang naman ito doon sa ilalagay natin dyan sa mga. Okay, so that's ready for our save. Okay, that's ready. We are ready for the save. So for you, gawin nyo na to so that next meeting natin, you're ready for the code of the save button. Yung save button yung pinakamadami kasi dyan natin lalagay yung code ng insert tsaka yung code ng update. Okay, yung delete okay naman na, no? Okay, so do you have questions or clarifications on our discussion?